Hello, everybody.
Hey everyone, it's Glem3.
Hello, it's Llama Girl 300.
And welcome back to Phoenix Wright. In the last part, we were about to cross-examine Larry, who just bursted into court. Burst into court. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. As I said, I'm losing my ability to speak. See? Learning, I said. I was looking for something, and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back into the rental shop. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't notice the boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. Single gunshot. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any matter, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. I love how he knows his court is, like, terrible.
I know, he's like,
yes, Your
I
Honor.
suck as a judge. What's wrong, Nick?
It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Stop.
Tickle me, Larry. Well, we've come this far. Tickle me, Butz. Well, we've come
Worst
this far.
idea for a name for a toy. Tickle a butt. Out on the boat on a lake, looking for something, and I found it. Quietly slipped. Go back at the rental shop. I was thinking about going home. I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't notice the boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home.
So then you have to...
Want to just present?
Lotta's testimony.
2 sounds like gunshots. Objection!
That was kind of weird.
Yeah, the speaker didn't work. Wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang? You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butz? What? You only heard 1 gunshot? Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Huh? Not sure? How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude. On my headphones. What?! Order! Order! And stop that booing! Mr. Butz, we all hate radios, I guess. You were listening to a radio on earphones? It's 2016.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio. Everyone listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion?
Waste of time. I do not accept this witness, nor his shoddy testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony?
Continue.
Continue.
Glutton for punishment, I guess.
Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony.
Bah! Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who does not know when he's lost.
Very well, Mr. Butz. Please give your testimony, and be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. What Larry heard. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud, like. But I'm sure I heard the gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it, too. You were listening to your radio at a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is.
Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio.
True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? What are all these letters? An announcer. This is really hooked on Phoenix now.
Seriously.
An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks in between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. Let's go.
Thomas.
It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud like. But I'm sure I heard the gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too.
So you have to press this part.
What did he say?
Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what the DJ said do us?
Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'm going to allow this. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should.
What? Why?
Well, how do you know if we don't ask, Fine, very well. I'm going to allow this, Mr. Butz.
Imagine how nerve-wracking this would be in real court, where like you don't even know if this is gonna help you or not.
Well, yeah, because you never. To be honest, it's hard to really know in these cases unless you played it already.
Yeah.
What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas. I heard the gunshot."
So.
Hey, it's almost Christmas. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this really sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how this helps us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. There's one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened.
Okay, so
if you go back,
you're supposed to present. I think you're supposed to have the picture of the empty lake.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see.
Is it 11 or maybe?
Well, we're not trying to prove him right. We're trying to prove him wrong.
Oh,
first.
that's right. So, yeah, it's all deal 6 stuff. So yeah, I think it's the first page.
Oops.
Oh wait, maybe the lake photo? Yeah, it's taken at 12:15. And
I guess let's try it.
Yeah.
Ooh, music stopped.
Nice.
Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's in the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when you heard the gunshot. Indeed. And? Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas! Durr. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But he should have heard the gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Miss Hart's camera. 12:25, 15 minutes, after midnight on Christmas Day.
15 o'clock.
This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor, well, if you're using a 24-hour clock.
Yeah, I guess that is correct. It's not that weird. 0:15 o'clock.
Order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight.
Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him! Suspicious!
What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butz's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? Larry's right. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight.
Intriguing. That should be a place. I would go there.
Wabbits.
I know, for some reason I'm like Elmer Fudd, German Elmer Fudd for some reason. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight.
So the second lake photo was taken at 11:50. Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh yeah?
Probably big boy.
There's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. Oh, it'll be fair if a pop thing can set it off.
Well, yeah, but who would be putting it
Yeah. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Aha! Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera also triggered 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them. Why would this be?
Don't be fooled, Judge. That camera was set to respond to loud noises.
Loud noises?
Loud noises!
Yes. No.
No, not yet. There's no proof there was a loud noise at 11:50. It was a gunshot. Why? The witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera.
Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Please show the court evidence if you have any.
And it's how the rifle was fired 3 sets of bullets. I think because they only said 2. Lotta and Yanni Yogi only said 2, and then Larry said 1, which makes a total of 3. And
I guess this also says loud noises, but I'm sure the gun is right.
Oh yeah.
Take that.
Yeah, but he's asking if it was a bullet. Like he said, it could have been any loud noise.
This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol is bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When then was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Whoa. Meow. Order.
Cat in the courtroom. Get it out of here.
That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake.
Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why? I asked you. Why?
Why? Uh-oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes?
What's wrong, Nick?
I have it!
Huh?
Remember the case with the Steel Samurai?
Huh? Yeah, of course I remember.
The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case.
Oh, they're just ripping each other off then? 2 cases, like 2 consecutive cases
that are very
exactly
similar, like the first and second?
What do you mean?
Maya?
Yes?
If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edward's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch. I'm going to run with it.
Right. I mean, is this safe?
Safe? You've already gotten a guilty verdict. You have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay?
Right, Nick.
Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. So you finally realized the truth? There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself.
No. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. I found for the later cases I was more learning from Phoenix Wright than like knowing myself beforehand.
Yeah, that's true. He gives a bit away. Listen, rookie.
He doesn't give it away, just I didn't really get it until after the fact.
Okay. Take a deep... Oh, I think that's how it happens to everyone. Like,
yeah, probably.
They give you hints. Take a deep breath. Consider the facts. At the same time of the murder, 1 boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on the boat. Why?
Just why?
There was a gunshot fired on that boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party only has to be the other man on the boat.
I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility.
Yes.
But this assumes my conscience is acting up here. But this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Can't they tell by an autopsy report? Oh no, they weren't sure about the time of death.
Yeah.
We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 15. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent.
Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who this is sitting on the boat.
Can't even look at the back.
I would say Edgeworth and the murderer.
Yep. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth.
Oh, your startup disk is almost full.
What? Are you serious? Yes. Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this.
Ludicrous!
Von Karma's also pubescent, apparently.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a rat.
I'm sorry. I'm getting...
Ludicrous! I'm going through puberty mid-court! Tell us the name of the murderer, then. The murderer's name? Right, it's...
I don't know.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know?
Bah! Again, you waste my time!
I don't know, because he never told us.
Okay.
The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not in a boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place?
Show the judge where the real murder really took place.
In the lake, in the hot dog stand, at the entrance, at the exit, at the not exit, in the rocks, under the sea, in the sky, under the rain. Okay. In the...
Under the rain.
In the...
Over the hills and far away.
In the caretaker shop. Or around there. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he can meet with the victim without anyone seeing.
Do a proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime?
Recall Larry's testimony, if you will.
Yeah.
Whee!
Boat ride. Joy ride.
That night he was out on the lake in a boat, searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by, although you said there was a DJ, but whatever. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat? The boat shop. Larry Butz is guilty. I see. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor.
Nick, are you sure about this?
Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop.
He has a parrot on his shoulder. I don't actually remember that picture.
This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Just like if I wore your coat, I would become you.
Yeah,
exactly. That's how nature
able
works.
To see through that.
Well, if he doesn't, to be fair, that's the only thing. Like, if he doesn't really know him, it doesn't really matter if he's
Yeah,
wearing...
it's probably wearing a hat too or something.
Yeah. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out to the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright?
The boat shop caretaker.
Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth, on purpose.
Oh, look at Edgeworth. He's like,
Wait.
cravat is flying in the air. He's like, ah!
Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't need to hit anyone? Details?
Know this, Mr. Wright. And then he's like, you know this. Like, it's like he's like Mia. It's like Mia. She didn't have it
I
in the
will
body.
be your guide.
The moment you want to have explanations, the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer has to fire twice.
To create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, The murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. It's kind of complicated, but
Whatever.
yeah. Basically,
To someone looking from
he
the
was framed,
Yeah, basically,
in
yeah.
a nutshell.
In-
To someone
Aw,
looking from the edge of the
nutshell.
lake.
That's cute.
What?
I don't know. It's like in a nutshell. Nutshell.
It would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back onto the body, and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake.
Let me do. I don't know. I'm just weird.
Bailiff? Bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly!
Bring out the dancing lobsters.
Bring out the dancing lobsters. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions.
My time to shine.
Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Okay, next time Edgeworth will take the stand. We'll see you guys there.
Alright, bye guys. See you next time.
Comment questions in the description as always. Please subscribe.
Do you usually feel like your other walkers usually have comment questions
Yeah.
that like prepared?
Well, I don't prepare them. I just can think of them easily.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like, what was your favorite thing Mario did?